In this video, I'm going to do a little MATLAB animation with you. So let's start with a new script. In this video, we're going to make it rain. So what I mean by that is we're going to take a figure and we're going to plot some random points, and then we're just going to make them fall like rain. So we'll save our script. First thing we need is a new figure. Let's close everything also. And we run early, run often. So it clears everything, creates a figure. That's great. Now let's do more. So we're generating x and y coordinates for our raindrops, of which there will be num drops of these. We haven't really defined that yet. We will in a moment. We'll say these are initial positions. It's good to use a variable like this because maybe we want less, maybe we want more, and I can just change it in one spot. Following that idea, I'm also going to define an x min and an x max. Same thing with the y limits. Now let's do a plot. So there are my initial positions. That's nice. This is raindrop animation, so I'm going to get rid of the grid. Don't need that. And I'm going to get rid of the numbers. I think I can do that using the x ticks and y ticks. So I can use the set GCA. So if I run this, I've re-randomized my raindrops and no more x ticks and y ticks. Okay. Now we want to do the animation. And we can do this using a for loop. That'll be a nice way to start. Now, what we have to do is we have to adjust the y coordinates, and we might think we want to replot every time. But I'm going to show you something, and so actually I'll put here a new section so that we can just work with this section here. If I assign a variable to this plot, so let's do it here. Watch what happens when I run this. Rain plot now is a line object with certain properties. There's a color, line style, see none, marker, circles, marker size is 6, okay, face color. Now you see XData and YData and ZData. The XData and YData contain the coordinates for all the points here. So instead of replotting, I can just adjust the YData for this plot. So here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to come here and I'm going to take here drop y, and we're going to subtract something from all of it. So let's make a dy, let's let that be -1. And now we can adjust it. And we'll add a little pause. And let's see how that goes. Okay, I made things go in the wrong direction because I'm subtracting -1, so I'll add -1. And now my drops are going in the right direction. Now I'm going to get rid of this because we want it to happen all in one run. So let's run this. And I generate my drops and they're falling. Now one thing I want to do is when a drop goes off screen, we'll stop animating it and we'll add a new drop at the top. So how can I do that? Well, I can use conditional subscripting. And so if you haven't seen my conditional subscripting video, take a look in the description to this video and you'll find it so you can understand what I'm doing here. So I'm going to define a condition for drops that are airborne. So that means that the position of a drop has to be greater than 0. We'll say greater than or equal to 0. And let's just count those drops that are airborne. That ought to do. So here's some code I want to execute only if I need to replace drops, because there may be times when I don't have drops to replace. And let's just calculate a num new. So this is the number of new drops. So I'm going to revise my condition so that if num new is greater than 0, that means we have to replace drops. So we create new y coordinates. We also have to adjust the x coordinates so that we are working with the same coordinates for the drops that we keep. And then we're going to randomize the x coordinates of the new drops. So instead of ones, it's going to be rand. It's 100 times ones here because we're going to start the drops at the top of the screen. In fact, I'll make a new line here. Same thing here. Okay, I've made some changes. Let's see if that works. Oh, actually, I need to obtain my x coordinates. But we're not adding the dy because we're not changing the x coordinates like that. So now you see my raindrops are falling. They're falling, but they're not being replaced. Let's just double check. Okay, my issue here is that I did not set the new data, so let's do that. We're setting the new XData and the YData, so let's see how that goes. Okay, so as you can see, as drops leave the bottom, new ones come at the top. So that's good. And if I liked, I could make this go longer by increasing the number of frames, or I can make it be faster by reducing the pause time. And if I run this, there it's raining faster. I could increase the number of drops. Let's make it 50. So it's nice the way I've set this up because I just change my parameters in one spot and things are better. In fact, even better, I'll move my parameters all to the top here. And let's do here pause time. Run it again. And then everything I want to change is up here, so let's make it even faster. All right, so there's some animation. I'll just remind you, I didn't replot, but rather I used the XData property. So I just need to set the XData and the YData. And this prevents me from having to replot the data. Another thing I could do is capture these frames and export it to a video like an AVI or MP4, but then the video becomes non-interactive. I could use an animation like this and it could be interactive if it's within, say, a while loop that I'm controlling or getting data from a sensor or something. Yeah, just some basics of animation here. I hope you found that helpful. Please subscribe and like my videos. Thank you. Bye.